Hi there, I got a CRA horror story. I don't know if this is the real CRA that called me once. I remember a while ago I had this text messaging free service. I downloaded it on my phone. It's text free something. You get a phone number and that. So suddenly I received a voicemail saying they're from the CRA, are gonna take me and my dad to court because they're saying that they wanted money. But apparently, I panicked one time. They called, and I was home alone, but I got this automatic voice saying that they're gonna take me to court and all that. So I really panicked, and I called a crisis line. They said, "Don't worry about it, it's a hoax." They've been calling a lot of people since. If you get a call from them threatening to take you to court, it's a hoax. Then I looked up a website about the CRA scam, about somehow telling people they'll take them to court and all that. It really scared me. I said, I can't deal with this. I'm going through stress in my life. I didn't want to deal with this. So it was really scary. I thought something bad was gonna happen to me, like there'd be like a knock at the door or something, or I get a letter. They would usually send a letter in the mail if that was the case. So I freaked out and called the crisis line, and they told me the person on the other end told me, "Don't worry, it's just someone trying to scare you. It's called a phone scare. I don't like that, whatever I call it." And it was someone scaring you to take you to court, which really isn't true. And then I heard there was other people who got a call from the CRA threatening to take them to court because they didn't pay their bill, and my dad already paid the CRA revenue agency. So that's what scared me about it, is that they were threatening to take me to court. And I really had nightmares that night. I couldn't sleep that night. I was terrified. I didn't know what was happening. I panicked. And I don't usually freak out, but if that is the case, I would have. Because I didn't like that. It was a disturbing voicemail, but I'm not keeping it because it's not appropriate to play on the internet. Because I don't know. But it turned out the CRA didn't send a notification taking us to court, and it was someone trying to scare me and making me feel frightened, but whatever they did is planted fear in me. So now, if I get that call again, I know to block it because it's some sort of sick individual who finds it funny to do that, because supposing it's someone who doesn't understand and they frighten them. It could be an elderly person. That's not right. No, seriously. You get a call from the CRA threatening court. It's not the CRA. They would send a letter in the mail. And they wouldn't call you on the phone like that. It was creepy. And it didn't sound like the real CRA. It was a really disturbed voicemail. I deleted it. I got rid of it. And I even blocked the people from doing that, because I didn't know if they were the real thing. And then I asked my dad, does the CRA threaten court on people? He said, no, you shouldn't be. What's going on? You're panicking. You're really frightened. And he said that my blood pressure rised that day. I remember one time I had to go to the hospital because my blood pressure went very high once. It was over the limit. But I was okay, but it frightened my dad. And he said that if my blood pressure goes over 200, then I have to go to the hospital. It has not done that since. But maybe threatening people like that can really frighten people. And that CRA thing, be careful if you get a call saying they're the CRA threatening to take you to court. It happened to me, it really terrorized me, and I never want to hear from that again. I didn't really find that scare very nice, and I think there was a sick individual going around thinking it's funny scaring people like that. Now, when I heard that, I thought, is this some joke? Like, I thought, Dad, I'm being threatened by the CRA that they're gonna take us to court. He said I already paid the CRA. They would send a message in the mail. They would send you a letter. They don't do that. I said I'm terrified. Some weirdo's going around saying that, whoever it is, and I can't say who it is because I don't want to expose people's name, but I'm telling you, that is the most scariest thing that ever happened to me. And I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. So this is a message to anyone who feels scared about the CRA phone call about the court thing. It's not gonna happen. It's just that someone wants to scare a person into that, or trying to scare you. So you probably, it's a scam. A lot of people had it happen to them. And then I was watching a YouTube video, and a lot of people were claiming that the CRA was threatening court. Now that really scared me. I thought, oh my God, I'm home alone and this happens? You know, when that goes down, imagine if it was 3 a.m. and that happened. I was terrified. I said, I'm gonna lock all my doors. I'm going to stay up. I'm going to keep the lights on. I'm going to make sure all the doors are locked. I'm going to lock even the patio door and all that. I was terrified. I didn't even want to leave my house when that happened. I was so scared. I refused to leave the house. I did not like it. I was terrified. And I thought something was going to happen. And I tell you one thing, I never ever want that call again by that CRA. The CRA doesn't call people like that. But that was the most terrifying experience I ever had. This is called CRA Horror Story.